like I noticed that had come up when we were, or that had come up in that post I had made about it. It was, you know, you've got a rune for the east side, old east side, but your American Futharch rune is it's incense, and it raises the question for one to go, well, why not just ice? Why, you know, or why change that from its inherent, well, perhaps inherent, you know, meaning of ice, you know, to be a sticky resin, you know, or something like, you know.
Okay, yeah, that goes back to the linguistic foundations of it, and that I guess another way to put why do all this, and at least for my insight, that it was connecting and like restoring that living language link, because like for those first rune masters, there was like a perfect link between the language and the staves, and restoring that was ultimately at the very top of the priority. And the linguistics didn't really allow for retaining ice as a rune name, because it's not one sound that starts the word that vowel. It's two sounds in the modern language.
I see.
Yeah, so many of these things changed, and it's but then I guess you know, a rune name changing and becoming unsuitable for the runic system, that's happened before quite a lot. We see, for instance, in I mean, the younger Futharch, they threw out at least 8 of their rune names.
Yeah.
And the staves associated with them. And then we're also left in the Anglo-Saxon, we're left wondering, did they throw things out? Because when you try to reconstruct these, for instance, you see in the Anglo-Saxon, the third one is named Thorn. In the younger Futharch, it's named Thurs. I mean, these are irreconcilable. They don't go back to the same root. So if you ask, like, what was the name of the elder Futharch rune, it's like, you have to, like, can it be both of them? You'd have to postulate something like it had both names, and like maybe one was lost, but then of course, you know, the younger systems, they all just have one name for each of the runes, for the most part, as we see. So like, there's an irreconcilable difference there. So one way you look at it, like, someone lost the original name, whether it was the Old English that lost the original name or the Norse that lost the original name. That's one of those up in the air. Although I think usually most people come down on the side that the original name was probably Thurisaz instead of something like Thurnus or something.
Yeah.
So names get changed out, and due to language changes, or in some cases, like maybe the word falls out of use. So we know, like, for instance, in the Old English, we have chain as a word for torch in the Old English Futharch, but then in Old Norse, we have kaun instead for that rune, meaning like boil or sore.
Right.
So I guess maybe one way to look at that is probably if it was originally kanaz, then that word got lost in Old Norse, and so they had to replace it.